We'll get started. You can feel free to unmute as needed. If I ever do mute back, let's keep in mind this group, we fun. We are we want to strive to be, and I don't know why I'm saying this, one of them weeks, I guess, unoffendable. Nobody here is ever trying to hurt or offend anybody. If I ever mute, it's just so we can get a little order, but you're free to unmute and talk. And then when it starts sounding like, what is that? I can't think of the saying, 1,000 voices at one time, then we'll mute and start back over and unmute one at a time. So anyway, good to have y'all this morning. It is Friday. TGIF, thank God it is Friday. I love hearing the fellowship when I come into class, the good fellowship, because you know what that's going to correspond to? Weight loss, connection, support, engagement. I've been working really hard all year to try to recreate that because that's what works. It's not a person, it's the body of Christ. That's what works, and helping one another. So it's good to have everybody. Friday, you know what happens, we wrap it up and then we start over again. If God tarries, God's coming. We start over on Monday and we go through 5 lessons. We never know exactly. We've got a framework for those classes, but we just never know what's going to happen. Sometimes if you're from the South, you'll understand. Sometimes meeting breaks out, and that's all good too. So we do have a framework. You can go through the fast track videos, take the test, pass the test, and earn the fast track badge. That's where it starts. And when you go through the fast track recordings, it might even be good, by the way, to go back through the daily doses. The daily doses are really old. It's just a camera and me, but at the same time, that was how this thing began. It may be important to you to see for it to even get this far, God has had to be in it to take those daily doses and touch people because they're awful. Okay, so then there's the fast track videos. Kim Dankey teaches those. She goes through lesson 1 through whatever lesson, but you go through fast track and that installs the proper nutritional foundation. And you may think there's got to be something more. Nope. If you take that information to heart and you use it the way it's laid out, it is more powerful than any pharmaceutical medication on the market for weight loss. It's more powerful than weight loss surgery. You're learning how to basically get your body to heal itself, optimize its hormones. And when you do that, good things happen when you can operate in a calorie deficit. And that's what we do. And hey, by the way, pills, I'm not against them. Pills, potions, shots, all that stuff. Well, maybe I am against them. That was a lie. But I'm not saying that I'm down on somebody for taking them, but here's the problem I have with it. They tell you still have to eat right or it don't work. So, maybe it gives you some appetite control. Well, we can do that with natural substances and that have no intended consequences. Come back to the Father. That's the message. It's not a popular message this day and time. It wasn't popular when I heard it in my heart last August the 31st on my birthday. But come back to the Father, and you will experience a renewed you. And then we give you the tools so that you can be successful. One perfect day at a time. Perfect does not mean that you can't ever have a Cheeto. It means daily we're being mature. We have a plan. A fool with a plan is better than a wise man without a plan. So we have been going through all week these fast track lessons. I do the live. Kim has the pre-records, and I'm filling in the gaps, hopefully. And that all culminates today with you earning your fast track badge for the first time or the 100th time. Then you can go back through journey. I think that in part, the reason I've been successful getting off over 100 pounds, keeping it off, and body fat percentage continuing to better itself. I think it's because I teach this stuff every day, and I'm just always around it. I open my fridge and I see category numbers floating in the fridge. So it's just, it will become secondhand nature, and you will have an incredible smooth stone in your shepherd's pouch to defeat this giant. But you got to do it all. We're in the middle of a journal challenge right now. I guarantee you're going to see the most spectacular results just from a journal challenge, because all these components are powerful. Your water, that's not glorious. Drink a half a gallon to a gallon of water. Well, I want a shot. Why? Water works better. Then you've got your journal. Well, I don't have time to journal. You don't have time not to. How's it working for you test driving this or any other without a journal? Food combinations. You've got to control insulin. If you're looking for the thing that sets this program apart from a physiological standpoint, which is not the biggest part of it, but from a physiological, Travis, the fat, I want to get the body fat off. What's making that happen? I know about the Lord, people will tell me, but what's making that happen? Food combinations and MCT oil and your portions and your portion and fasting. So you eat in the right combination, or eat one of our recipes so that you control insulin. You eat up to 3 times a day. You cannot eat and graze all day. You will never optimize your hormones. You're not meant to be like that. You're not a grazer. Only things that we lead to the slaughter graze. Hunters, gatherers don't graze. They hunt it, they gather it, they store it, they eat it, they stop eating, they get back to work. And the only thing that grazes is things that we lead to the slaughter that we want to fatten up and kill. I'll let you think on that. So you've got your up to 3 eating episodes a day. Then we stop. We just stop eating. Quit it for 12 to 16 hours. I know it's easier said than done. I'm not trying to make light of it. I still struggle too, because I use food as a coping mechanism. And when I couldn't use food, I'm ashamed to tell you, I used other things as a coping mechanism. I'm not a bad person. I'm not a good person. But my thoughts and my heart is wicked evermore unless I come back to the Father. And it's a one day at a time battle for me. Anybody else? I'm the only one in that boat. So, if I let myself stray, it's no good for me. My flesh will destroy my life before lunchtime. So I have to come back to the Father early in the morning, in the middle of the day, at the end of the day. And it's so beautiful too. It's beautiful to do that. And when people give you a hard time for not being perfect, they setting themselves up for failure, because I got news for them. They poop stink just like mine does. Okay? We're all in the same boat here. Give each other a break, forgive each other, forgive yourself. Keep going one day at a time. If you slipped up yesterday, show yourself grace today. It will do no good to get down on yourself. I've done it my whole life. It does no good. You can't. Even Judas, Iscariot, his problem was that he tried to take the money that he got for betraying Jesus. He did Jesus a favor. So Jesus said, he said, thank you, friend. He tried to, everything that he done wrong, instead of falling at the feet of Jesus and saying, forgive me, he went and tried to give it back, take it back. And that's what we want to do. We'd like to go back in the past and not eat like we've eaten. We'd like to go back in the past and correct some things. Maybe we would have liked to have avoided the abuse. I know many of you've went through abuse and you don't understand why you keep self-sabotaging. It's because you were formerly abused and you feel like that's what you deserve. It runs deep, but you've got to come up out of that. You're a new creature in Christ Jesus. And when you make a mistake, you go, I hate it when that happens. Tomorrow's a new day. Not Monday. I'll start back Monday. That don't work. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we do it, and then we start slipping up. So no, that won't work. When you're in the weight loss mode, how many holidays can we have a month and still lose body fat fast and efficiently? 6. What is the significance of that in the Bible? Does anybody know? The whole program comes from the Bible. I was in the funniest meeting one day, and they said, "Where does this 6 holiday thing come from that you got?" And one of them, the other one said, "Well, I was looking on the weekly timing chart. Ain't this how we work as humans? I was looking on the weekly timing chart, and I figured out that if one got in efficient fat burning mode, they would spend X amount of time in the efficient fat burning mode. So 6 would be the perfect number. Did you mathematically computate that?" And I said, "No, I'm from U Harley. You go by U Harley, you hardly see it." I was reading my Bible and it says man was created on the 6th day. And I said, "I'm going to give myself 6 holidays." And they said, "But it's the right, if you're trying to lose weight, that gives you enough time in EFB to lose 10 to 12 pounds a month. You figured that out." And I said, "No, I just pulled a number out of the sky." And it just so happens to work. But when now the 12 is a little different. I believe that the Lord put upon my heart, if you do the right thing more than the wrong thing, you can maintain a healthy weight. And that's what that was about. We're going to do the right thing more than the wrong thing. And I dreamed of living a life. I don't anymore. But back then, when I loved to eat, I dreamed of living a life where Monday through Thursday, I was strict and right. And then I could take off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and kill myself with cheese dip and Sonic Blast because I lived for food. No, I no longer do that. But you can have 12 holidays a month once you have reached your maintenance weight. But I want you to think about that before we get into the fast track test for just a minute. You won't want them. By the time you get there, you won't want 12 holidays a month. You just don't feel good doing that. You've come off that poison. You no longer have those high blood sugar levels. Sleep apnea, you just feel better. And then when you go back to the poison and you're up all night and you're sick, you had gotten used to that feeling before. Now you won't want to do that. But when people say the program's very difficult and I can't have some of the things that I want, fight for maintenance. When you get to maintenance, if you want to, I got the data to prove it. When you want to, you can have 12 holidays a month. That means you got to do 18 days of right eating, which isn't difficult, and you can take 12 days off. That's 144 days a year. That's Georgia football games. That's your cruise ship thing that you get to go on. It's just amazing. But right now it's 72 a year. To me, that doesn't sound difficult, assuming I really got myself in a bind here. You know, an alcoholic, they have to quit alcohol forever. They can't even look at it stirring the cup. But with us, we can still eat. We just got to get some self-control on those other days. And this program will optimize your hormones. We talk about supplements all of the time. You don't need them. They give you an edge. I take them. I invest in them. I believe in them. I know I feel better, feel different. But if I couldn't afford them, I can go to the Piggly Wiggly or whatever grocery store in any rural town in America. I can go to the Dollar General and do this program. Where can you say that? So that's amazing, y'all. And it works just as good as pharmaceutical medications. Trust me, it does if you do it right. The problem is not your holidays. The problem is not the perfect day. It is those so-so days. Because when you got those so-so days coupled with your holidays, you're going to trend up. You got to do it. You got to be on it today, or you got to be off of it, which is on it. But you got to know that. I promise you, when you keep bumping those insulin levels, you think, well, I was doing really good. I was having perfect days. And then the other day, I had some Pringles and I still lost weight. I've heard stuff like that a million times. I'm like, be careful of that, because if you've been in any of the intermediate classes, you know how insulin bumps up. Blood sugar, like last night, when mom and dad, they said, come up here at 9 o'clock and eat you something. So I went up there at 9 o'clock, and Mama had some stuff there, like she had a cheesecake, and the crust tasted a little too good. Tricked me. And the crust wasn't an approved crust, Mama. Tricked me. She thought I could stand it. But I looked at my blood sugar monitor, and boop, there goes my blood sugar. Whoop, straight up. Well, I took care of that. You know, it comes right back down. My pancreas is working fine. But what you don't know, even though you got it back down in the zone, throwing down berberine and, you know, some movement, what you don't realize is that insulin's still up there. So as it's trying to come down, the next day you just have some Pringles because you have a moment of weakness or a lack of awareness. Guess what's happening? Bump. You didn't spike it, you bumped it, but it was already high. When you keep those high levels of growth hormone in the system, you can't lose weight. Okay. So we're going to do our fast track test. We're going to see what you know, what you've learned, make sure we're installing the right foundation. If you didn't learn what to eat this week, get a meal plan from Lisa and start with us again on Monday. Every Monday, we start a new round. Now, you can do this without ever joining our website, but then you need to have good note-taking skills, okay? We're here Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. to teach the program. And once you learn food combining, you got it. I'm going to do this a little different today. I'm going to go through some questions, and then I'm going to give you some true or false meals to make sure that we're learning. And again, keep in mind, these were meant to be connected to the fast track videos. Go through fast track, take test, pass test, earn the badge. Let's get in here. Simple program, really. It's just so simple. All right, so it can get as complicated as y'all want to. As when we do those advanced classes, we get in there pretty deep, but that's all for fun and to speed things up. So let's go to our videos and our test, new member fast track test. Here we go. How many types of shibboleth days are there? As far as I'm concerned, 2. Where that gets confusing in the Dropbox list in the journal, you have tiger days, intermittent fasting days. You have a lot more than that. Lion, shark, you have fun days in there, right? Those are just more restrictive versions of a perfect day. It's either hot or cold. It's either cold or hot. We don't want to be lukewarm. So there's just 2. How many holidays are allowed each month? This is a big deal. We've already talked about it. 6. Got to live by that. I think that establishing boundaries, I'm learning about that. Watch, people do not respect you if you don't establish boundaries. Is that correct? I've learned that in my life. I'm like, why do people not respect me? Because I have no boundaries. Okay. So lack of self-respect. If you don't have discipline, do you lose self-respect? Yes. This program, call it the boundary program. Call it the boundary program. You are establishing boundaries in agreement with yourself that you're not going to go beyond. So it's the 18th of the month and you've already had 6 holidays. You've already had 6 holidays. Oh, sorry about that. That's the first time I've seen that. Do that again, Deidre, what you just did. I'll click yes. That was weird. Let me know how that goes.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Travis. It's just an AI companion thing. You with this AI stuff. I'm sorry. I didn't.
No, that's super cool. I didn't know that was there. Deidre, for y'all, she just popped up, and I'm like, what is that? And I just usually assume those things, but I caught it was Deidre, so I thought, well, it's got to be okay. And she's asking for a meeting summary. I used to have to pay to do this stuff.
So it's now with AI. I did not mean to interrupt you, Travis. Please.
No.
God bless you. You're such a sweetheart. I'm sorry.
I enabled it. I'm looking forward to hearing how that goes.
I'll send it to Liza and I'll see how it goes. God bless you. Continue on with.
Continue on. She just got a summary of the whole meeting. Cool.
Thank you.
Awesome.
God
All
bless.
right. So with those 6 holidays, that you're in the 18th of the month and you've had your holidays, too bad, so sad. Now, if you're in the weight loss mode, yes, we record this, Miss Jill. We record each one. If you're in the weight loss mode and you want to be in the maintenance mode for the month, you can have more than 6 holidays. Let me pause it there. Strategy time. Aren't you living this forever? Isn't this your forever lifestyle? Because if it's not, you're wasting your time now. You are. I'm not trying to be mean. I want you here. But there are months that you might see the calendar laid out in a way it's going to be hard on you. But then if all of your days are perfect except for 12, you're going to maintain. You're not going to make any progress. There may be times you still have weight to lose, that because life's getting in the way, that you go more into a maintenance strategy. I do that all the time. So if I don't, I'm just hypothetical, I don't have any vacations coming up, but if I had a month where I'm still trying to lose weight, but I'm going on 2 weeks of vacation, I'm probably going to employ a maintenance strategy. I'm going to be thinking I got to be right and tight 18 days so I can enjoy these vacation days. Some of you are at that place in life where you get to travel a lot. The worst thing, and y'all know, some of you've been there, you've worked hard, you've got a good life, and part of the problem is you get to go have fun all the time. You're at the mountains 1 week, 2 weeks later, you're at the beach. You've paid the price and you've got your life like that where you can do that, but you're gaining weight and losing your health. Then the fun's no fun anymore. That's when you employ a maintenance strategy until you can see your way clear to get back strict again. Perfect days, not so-so days. Don't be bumping that insulin. All bad things happen when you bump that insulin. So 6 holidays. How many components are there to a perfect day?
Seven.
In the intermediate class, I'd probably somewhat.
Is it 5?
There's 6.
6.
So there's water, there's journal, there's food combinations, there's portions, there's your timing, and bless the name of the Lord. So you've got 6 holidays. Now, I've added some to that with mine because, I've got different goals now, but if you live by that, it's never going to lead you astray if you live by those definitions. So we just named the components. How many perfect days does it take to get into efficient fat burning mode?
2, I think.
Just 2. Yep. On the 3rd. So if we started on a Monday, by Wednesday, we're in EFB. True or false? Typically, probably 95% of the time, but true or false? I'll lose more body fat I'll lose more weight on day 1 than I will on my first day of efficient fat burning mode. That's true. Because the first day, you're just losing water and sugar. You're just losing water and glucose, almost no fat. But we get so excited about that. It's a trick. It's literally a trick. Because that first day, you're not burning fat. You're burning through the stored glucose that's attached to water. Then the next day, I've lost 4 pounds. I'm going to lose 120 pounds a month. Wow. By Wednesday, you've primed everything. Now you're burning mostly fat. Fat does not come off, or is it gained in pounds per day? It's ounces, but it's often masked by the water fluctuation. That's why we need a lifestyle, a consistent way of living that we stick to. By the 3rd day, you're actually losing more fat than you were the first day, but the scales aren't dropping big because the water's gone. Does that make sense? And this is going to happen over and over. Every time you have a holiday, you're going to gain 4 or 5 and you're going to think, see, I put all that weight back on this week. No, that was just water. Get back on tomorrow, you'll be fine. Do the right thing more than the wrong thing. Okay. Optimally, how much water should you drink in a day? We like ranges. Half a gallon to a gallon of water every day. It's going to help with satiation. It allows for all the chemical conversations that need to go on in the body for you to burn body fat efficiently. It allows for them to go on. If you're dehydrated, they can't really talk too good. Your switches get stuck. So you want to drink your water. What's the best water? Wet water. I just want you to get your water in. If you want to do distilled, better. If you want to do alkaline, better. But hey, I'll take tap water. Just get that water in. Water in, fat out. How many whole food categories are there in shibboleth? There you go, D. 7. Got 7 categories. True or false? Category 3 is fruit. That's false. It's complex carbohydrate. True or false? If I'm going to eat a potato, I need to make sure that I have steak with it. That's false unless it's a holiday, right? If I want a potato, I need to saute my stripped up chicken breast in olive oil and have it with broccoli. No, because the chicken then becomes a steak, technically. So if we're going to want a potato, look at your combination chart. We want to have that with a chicken breast, some green beans, cooking spray, grilled chicken, or MCT oil. True or false? In maintenance, I can have an apple by itself as an approved snack. That's true. Yeah. If I'm in the weight loss mode, true or false? I can have in the morning an egg white and spinach omelet with fat-free cheese and then eat an apple on the way to work right after eating that. That's true. That's a 1 + 2 + 5. True or false? I can have 3 ounces of grilled chicken, 3 ounces of shrimp, riced cauliflower with approved yum yum sauce on it. True. True or false? I can have a low country boil with Old Bay seasoning. I can have crab, shrimp, broccoli, and new potatoes, and I can dip it in ghee butter as long as I control my portions. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a perfect combination. When I get done with it, I can dip it in regular butter. No, can't do that. Is quinoa approved? Absolutely. Quinoa is one of the better category 3s. We count it as a 2 + a 3. It's a great perfect pairing item, quinoa is. During the weight loss mode, I should limit it to a 1/4 cup with a lean protein or with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. During maintenance, I can have up to a 1/2 cup of quinoa. You can add any lean protein to quinoa. It's a perfect pairing item. Category 3 can be eaten by itself in the weight loss mode. That is false. True or false? Pinto beans can be eaten by themselves as a meal when in weight loss mode. That's very true. Category 6 superfood can be eaten by itself. True or false? I can have steak, category 4 steak, with category 6 pintos on the same plate. That's false. How do we know that? It's simple. It's on a combination chart. So once I know to look up or can identify a steak is a 4, pintos are a 6, there is no 4 plus 6. Why can't I? Because a steak has a lot of fat in it. The pintos are very carby. So they're going to elevate your blood sugar a little bit, not too much. But with the presence of that fat, there could be storage. Now, there is a perfect pairing that you can do. The lower the calories that you have, the more you can change the combination rules. So if I could limit myself to only 3 ounces of steak and limit myself to only a half a cup of pintos, I could do it. So why don't I teach that? Because the beginner program's already challenging enough for people to learn. So I just stay with the strict parts of the program during fast track. Yes, you can have avocados. What category are avocados, everyone? They're a category 6. There are 350 calories per large avocado. We have to be careful with the calories. So technically, not that I would, could I eat an avocado by itself as a meal? Yes, but I would not want to do that. Not very much protein. Avocados are best used as a condiment. Make some guacamole out of it. Put a few slices of avocado on your approved sandwich. In this list, what is the fastest fat-burning combination? 1, 2, MC. Remember, there's red column, yellow column, blue column. What's the fastest? 1, 2, MCT, 1, 2, 5, 4, 2, MCT, or 6 and 1? On this list, 1, 2, MCT. Planet Shibboleth says, true or false? Planet Shibboleth says a category 1 plus 2 cooked in Pam is better for weight loss than category 1 plus 2 plus MCT. That is false. MCT in that scenario will help very much. It has a muscle sparing effect and it gives you energy without spiking insulin, and you're giving your body some fat. So a little fat is good to lose fat. Can you have meal replacements in the weight loss mode? Yes, and in fact, I think you should. Until you get your self-control, we're moving toward a diet that's 80% whole food centric. But in the beginning, meal replacements will help lose it faster till a client gets their mind right. So Mighty Muffins, true or false? A Mighty Muffin with, I don't remember the rating, so I'm just hypothetically, a Mighty Muffin with a -2 rating is not as good as a 1 bar with a -1 rating. That's false. The lower the number, the better. So -3 is the best. -2, -3, okay? Mighty Muffins are -3. I couldn't remember. I knew they were good. If you're like looking for simplicity today, and you're going to eat 3 meals a day until all the body fat's gone, a good strategy would be eat a Mighty Muffin for breakfast. For lunch, have an approved shake. And for dinner, have grilled chicken and green beans cooked in MCT. And you'll blowtorch fat like taking a blowtorch to butter. True or false? True. Just do that till you lose the weight. And then if you still can't figure the program out, then you can have 12 holidays a month and just keep doing that. you'll be a lot healthier. If you eat a meal that is not properly combined, you are revving up the fat bus. You can still correct it and have a perfect day. Must not eat the rest of the day, or you'll be okay. Don't worry about it.
That's false.
You're revving up the fat bus, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Got to watch that old fat bus. Appetite goes up, fat storage takes place, not just at that meal, but the entire time afterward too, until we get it back down. Portion control. For an optimal program, I should eat 3 eating episodes or less per day. That's right. To get by, I can have up to 4 eating episodes a day. True, and you can actually graze all day on freebies, but we don't recommend it because grazing on freebies will turn into grazing with Doritos, I promise. Kelly, I'm a Southern cook. I know that cooking my green beans with bacon grease is not allowed. What seasoning can I use? You can cook them with bacon grease. You can have them with bacon grease. Sure can. Now, if you want to eat them healthier, I would use Goya ham seasoning. Have you tried that? Goya ham seasoning, it's a freebie. But also, Kelly, those green beans cooked in bacon grease. True or false? On my plate, I have green beans cooked in bacon grease. And beside those, I have a grilled chicken breast. That is approved. True or false? That is true. I have green beans cooked in bacon grease, and I have 6 ounces of ribeye steak on the plate. That is approved. Absolutely true. If bacon grease is on the plate, I have to avoid category 3, category 5, and category 6. That is true. All right, let me throw another bacon grease question at you. Okay. True or false? Bacon grease is not ideal for me. That's true. Okay. So how am I remedying the problem that it creates? I'm limiting my portion. So if steak and green beans cooked in bacon grease fit under my 2 hands and are no thicker than the thickest part of my hand, I'm not going to have a problem. Are y'all with me? All right. Let's get to the end. Which of the following statements is incorrect regarding cooking oils? Cooking in olive oil is not approved. Ghee butter does not change the category of food. Using coconut oil does not change the category of your food. You can use any 0-calorie cooking spray. Which one is not correct? The first one, you can use olive oil. We don't like it, but you have to avoid category 3, category 5, and category 6, and you'll be fine. So when I go to a restaurant and I'm eating out, if I'm in the weight loss mode, I need to avoid anything but unbreaded meat and a fibrous veggie, and I probably need to take half the serving home with me if I want to have a perfect day. Angela's saying, yep, we in lockstep. Good stuff, everybody. So go take the full test, take the test, pass test, earn the badge, and then we just keep learning together. We just keep traveling together and celebrating success together. That's another thing. Never be envious of somebody doing better than you. That will be you next. Comparison is the thief of our joy. Any questions? True or false? Travis is drinking a Diet Coke. It is not good for him. That's true. True or false? It's a lot better for Travis because of all those dormant fat cells he has than a regular Coke. That's true. All right. Everybody satisfied? Hey, Joseph, that good old book, we are organizing this weekend. As y'all know, we're shorthanded. Thank you for your patience. Myself and family members are getting together to plot out our course so that we start getting a batch out every day next week. We hope and pray that we've got them in everybody's hand by the end of next week. I'll have to do a few a day. I'm working 2.5 jobs right now, and I just want you to know how much I appreciate this support. It's not that we're suffering. The program's doing great. Y'all are doing great with it, but I started over from zero. So we appreciate everybody hanging in there with us on that. It really helped out, and I hope you enjoy it. We'll be using it in these fast track classes. It's meant to be a companion piece to the fast track classes. And there's tons of meal ideas in there. Penny says, go back and watch Daily Dose and Fast Track videos. Take that test about every 6 months. I agree. Hey, Kathy, good to have you back. Shirley's getting her Diet Mountain Dew. Everybody good? We're not leaving this meeting. Friday, we don't have another meeting to go to, but I still meet with the group. We're going to talk the journal challenge for just a few, do some recognition. But I know some people have to go, so we're going to close this meeting out and then just transition for those that want to stay. That's right, Darla. That's right. Okay.
Hello.
All right. I'll close us out in prayer, and then we'll just transition over. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in the earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day, Lord, our daily bread. Forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Thank y'all. Please don't forget, next week, bring somebody with you. Go through it with them. We'll provide you the meal plan. We'll provide you the live sessions. We'll provide you the fast track videos. You don't have to pay for the greatest program on planet Earth. We pay for it. So bring a friend. And, we'll get you through fast track. Might take you a few weeks to get through it and master it, but it's well worth it.